Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing really well out there today. Here recently, I needed to diagram my home network, specifically the network gear itself. I may have to swap some of that out depending how things go over the next couple of months. But I wanted to get that diagram of my network done so I knew, which switches and hubs and whatever I had strewn through my house. I wanted to know what it was, where it was and what it was connected to. So I just got online and I searched for, like network diagram application online or whatever it was I searched for. And I ran across a service called Visual Paradigm. And I jumped in there. It was easy to use. I went ahead and created my diagram for my home network. Again, easy to use. Everything just kind of did what it said it was going to do. And I really enjoyed it. Until I exported my diagram. And of course, I'm on the free version. So what they did was they watermarked it like a lot. There's a big old nasty watermark in the top right-hand corner, which is fine. That is their prerogative, but I knew there had to be a way that I could self-host something similar to this. And then I remembered a Docker container that we've never talked about called Excalidraw. Now, if you're not familiar with Excalidraw, this is a video from their YouTube channel about how to make a mind map using Excalidraw. It's very, very simple. You just kind of click around and you drag things where you want them. You can use their built-in resources, or you can import your own images, which I really enjoy. You can just quickly and easily create things like this mind map here, or this wireframe if you're doing design work for a client. This is a great way to do wireframes and that sort of thing. They've also got this diagram. Of course, this is the, does it move? Should it move? Yes, no. The answer is always WD-40 or duct tape. This is an engineer's diagram, but you can see how easily they're just kind of creating things and moving things around, drawing lines, that sort of thing. Super, super easy to use. So that is what we're going to talk about in this video, how to deploy your own version of Excalidraw using Docker. Now, before we get into that, there are a couple of things that I want to bring to your attention. If you just go to excalidraw.com, here you go. You can just use it for free on their service, and that's fine if you wanted to go that route. There's also a paid version of this, which is plus.excalidraw.com. And of course, online whiteboard made simple. I ideate, collaborate, share simply with Excalidraw. And of course, more demonstrative stuff down here that you can do. But if we jump over to pricing, we can see there is a free option and a plus option. You can take a look at those at your leisure. But I wanted to show this just because very often people will say, well, why would they give you this for free? Why would they do this for free? They're not making any money. Why would they do it? They're making money on it, right? They genuinely are. Not everybody wants to self-host, so they've got a paid version of their software to supplement their business model, right? To build their business model. They have a paid subscription model if you want to go that route. But again, we're going to self-host this using Docker. We actually jump over to their GitHub page, which is right here. We can see this is a visual whiteboard for sketching hand-drawn like diagrams. Again, links. We can see, as far as when certain things were updated. Some of it was years ago because not everything needs to be updated with every update. And of course, we can also see that some of this was updated, as recently as last week. So we can tell this is a mature project that is still being actively worked on. And I super, super love that. They're currently on version 0.17. So this is technically still a beta. So just understand that this isn't going to have all of the same amenities and features that their hosted version would, right? You're going to be kind of taking you're not going to get everything self-hosting this currently. And they've actually addressed that, which I super appreciate as well. Okay, yep, it's right there. Sorry, it took me a second to find this, but the Docker image is free of analytics and other tracking libraries. Again, communication, I love this. Transparency, amazing. Well done, guys. Below that, though, it says, at the moment, self-hosting your own instance doesn't support sharing or collaboration features. So you won't be able to bring another person into this to have them work on it, say remotely or whatever the case is. So like it says here, sharing and collaboration features are not currently available, but they continue. We are working towards providing a full-fledged solution for self-hosting your own Excalidraw. So I just kind of wanted to show what they've got on their website as far as what you can do with it, free and paid, but also address the fact that this isn't fully 100% on par with their hosted version just yet. So with that said, I want to just kind of show you what I did using Excalidraw on my own self-hosted solution here. So, oops, that's not it. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, this is what I created this morning using Excalidraw here on my local network. This is kind of what I wanted to see. I know it may not make a ton of sense, but internet comes into the router. That splits off into two switches. One is a PoE switch. One is just a 2.5 gig switch. Going back to the PoE, this goes to like my camera hub, my TV, Xbox, my wireless access point. This wireless access point is the only thing actually using PoE. Everything else is not. And of course, then that breaks out into TVs and phones and wireless cameras and that sort of thing. If we come back over to this 2.5 gig switch, this is actually sitting on my desk in the front end of the house, and that's my laptop there. And then that breaks out and comes back to the studio here and goes into a 10 gig switch back here that then breaks out and goes to my different, like my HL15, my NASAs, that sort of thing. And then goes into a 24 port switch for other things, like another PoE switch for cameras, a computer, a Raspberry Pi, 3D printer, that sort of thing. So this is very, very high level what my network kind of looks like. And this is what I actually created relatively easily, all things considered, using Excalidraw. And I'm really, really happy with this for a couple of different reasons, right? And let me show you what that is, right? Let's just open, oops, I lied. Let me grab this URL, this IP address, whatever. We're going to give this a second. There we go. Going to go ahead and continue. Look, there's nothing here. Everything is stored in your browser. So that is something to keep in mind. But what we can do here, right, is I can click here and I can click open. And then I can come over here to my YouTube projects and I can do bait modified. And I can find this Excalidraw and I can grab that file right there and click open. And there it is, just that quickly and easily. So while it doesn't have mapped storage or Docker volumes or anything like that for storage, which we'll take a look at, you can save your Excalidraw files to a folder and send them to someone else if you wanted to, or save them on your network and have access to them later. There are several different ways that you can kind of get around their currently not fully functional things, right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. So just a quick little demonstration here. You know, I can click and I can drag this up here, and I can, you know, move this over to here, and I can very easily move things around. But as far as actual like icons and that sort of thing, there are a couple of different ways that you can get those. The first way is to come over to the library, and you can browse libraries, and then you can search for like network. Oops, network, right? And unfortunately, you can't really view what's going on in there, and that's not great in my opinion. And then from there, you can either download this file, which is an Excalidraw lib file, or we can just click add to Excalidraw, and there they are. They just all kind of popped up there, and then I can just drag this over like so, and then I can map that wherever I need to, right? You can do that very easily, and there are several different Excalidraw libraries. Of course, I just searched network, and these are the ones that came up for that. So you can search all kinds of different things and find different icons that are built specifically for Excalidraw if you want to go that route. Now, what I did for this for this diagram here is I actually went to flat icon and I typed in networking there, and then I found a style that I liked, and then I just went down here to this style, which is special lineal, and then I open it up, and look, they've got all of these different groupings, these organizations, or I guess groupings is probably the best word to use there. But then you can, just you can open this up and you can say, I really want this. So I'm just going to click copy image, and then I'm going to just click over there and paste. And there it is, right? It's just that easy to add your own custom icons from services like flat icon, for instance. That's what I used to build this diagram, and it was super, super easy. You can see how effortless it was to do that. I can come over to here and I can say, oops, I want to go to like lines, for example, and I want to use a dotted line, and I want kind of rounded corners, and then I can just say, you know, that goes there now. And it's just that easy to do that. If I want, you know, I can shrink this, or I can move it down to here. Whatever the case is, there's all kinds of different easy ways to build your own diagrams or mind maps or wireframes or whatever you want with this. Absolutely love it. So I want to show you how easy it is to get Excalidraw installed. I'm going to close this. I'm not going to save it. Again, this is the one that I created this morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over to their hub.docker.com page. So there are a couple of different commands over here on this hub.docker.com page. The first one is a build command. The second one is a run command. We only really need the run command here. It's the second line right here. It says docker run -rm -dit -name. Right, you can read that. I'm not gonna waste your time with that. I'm just gonna click copy. And then I'm going to come over here to this instance, right? And if we were to just paste that in there and hit enter on our keyboard, it would go through the process of deploying our instance of Excalidraw on our Docker server, wherever you happen to have that set up. And there's nothing wrong with doing it this way if you don't mind running it in command line. But I oftentimes like to have a cleaner interface. I like to use a graphical user interface more often than not when I'm doing this kind of thing. Not always, but most of the time. So what I'm going to do is take that same command, the same Docker run command that we just had here. I'm going to come over to Composerize. I'm going to paste this in. And this is going to give us our new Docker Compose here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to come over to Portainer. Also 97 megs for this container, which I just love. I'm going to come over here to stacks. I'm going to click add a stack. I've already got this running, but we're going to change a couple of things. So Excalidraw 2, right? So our service is Excalidraw. Now there are a couple of different things in this Docker Compose that we haven't seen in previous Docker Composes that we've talked about in depth on this channel. And basically we've got this stdin_open equals true and this tty equals true. And if we come over here and we do a quick Google search, basically what it says here is in your Docker Compose, you can enable both of those options to create an interactive session within your container. And this stdin keeps the standard input stream open, even if it's not attached to a terminal, which is great. And then this tty, which is a pseudo terminal, which emulates a full terminal session within the container. So that's what those are there for. I'm not sure if they necessarily need to be there because this was something that Composerize added, I believe. In fact, let me come back and check. So basically it's going to come from, I believe this -dit is where we're going to get both of those. So -d is a command and -it is a command, or -i-t. Anyway, I believe those two entries come from this -dit. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you can explain it better than I just poorly did, please also do that in the comment section down below. That would be amazing. So we're going to come back over here to Portainer. Here we can see we've got Excalidraw. I'm going to add a 2 to that because I've already got this up and running. So again, we've got our service, Excalidraw. We've got a couple of options. We've got a container name. We've got our ports. If you're already using port 5000 for something, just change it on the first half before the colon there. Don't change the second half. We've got an image here of Excalidraw /Excalidraw with a tag of latest. The other thing that I want to talk about real quick is we don't have a restart policy. So I'm just going to do a restart unless, stopped, like so. And that will make sure that if your server reboots or whatever the case is, the container will come back up automatically. So once we're happy with all of this, we can scroll down and click on deploy the stack. That is a dash, not an underscore. There we go. I screwed that up. Deploy the stack. There we go. And that deployed really fast because I already got the Docker container downloaded. But then I can come over here, click on 8080. And there we go. Just that quickly and easily, we're up and running. Now we can start creating mind maps and diagrams and whatever we want to create with Excalidraw. Super, super easy with our own self-hosted Docker solution. So if you're interested in Excalidraw and you want to support them, there's a couple of ways you can do that. But it's easiest if you go over to their GitHub repository and come up to the top right and click on star, which is right here. They currently have 88,500 stars. If you need, if we could see that number go up. But you can also come down here and sponsor the project by opencollective.com/Excalidraw. Again, everything I talk about in this video will be available in the video description. So definitely check this out if you're interested. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know all of that in the comment section down below. But I think with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I do want to thank you guys for spending a few minutes of your day with me here today, and I'll talk to you in the next video.